Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 9 Episode 4. His best friend is his mother. So we're going to get on into it. Before we get into it, I apologize for not doing my 90 Day UK recap this week. I feel like it's been a while since I even last did a video, and it's only been my usual time in the week, but I was so sick last week. I was very sick last week. Didn't have much energy for hardly anything after my last recap video. So I'm gonna do episodes 2 through 5 later this week for 90 Day UK and stuff. And there's something I do want to address too. I'll address at the end of the video, but we're gonna get started with this recap of Happily Ever After. So we're going to start with Brandon and Julia. We got to meet them for this season on this episode. So as we all remember, Brandon and Julia were just on 90 Day to Last Resort. They just got back from couples therapy. We knew they were going to recommit to each other. But, you know, their storyline on Last Resort is, you know, of course, Brandon's a mama's boy. I wouldn't say mama's boy, but it's just his parents are just too much. And Julia's parents want to come to America for a little bit, and Brandon wants a second opinion for Julia to get a second opinion to see if Julia can have kids. So that was their storyline on Last Resort, and that's more than likely going to be the storyline for this season. So we meet Brandon and Julia, and their role play. We open up with them trying to do like a role play. The role playing like a pizza. Brandon's playing a pizza delivery boy, going to delivering a pizza, and a girl saying they have no money. I guess this is to boost up their sex life, basically. And so they try. It didn't work. They're horrible. They actually did get real pizza and they ate pizza, but it didn't work. So, you know, now they're in preparation. I guess Julia's parents are finally coming to America from Russia, and they are going to be staying at Brandon and Julia's house in their guest room. Well, back on 90 Day Diaries, I remember, I think it was last year actually, Brandon had gave his mom a key to their house, and without Julia's consent or whatever. And Brandon's mom just always be popping in all the time and everything, like she always does everything. So, and I guess they have like a little guest room where she stays when she comes up, because Ron and Betty, Brandon's parents, live an hour and a half away from where they live. So there's that discussion. But Julia, you know, she's a little stressed out. She's preparing for her parents to come. She decorated the guest room for her parents to stay. And I guess her parents are actually not together, though, and everything. So I don't know how their sleeping arrangements are going to come. So, you know, she makes it like all American type. She decorates the rooms like Welcome to America, the American flag and everything. Brandon was kind of surprised, like, why don't you have to rush this stuff and everything? And you're saying welcome home and everything. So, you know, they're talking about that and stressing and everything. And later we see them go to the store because they had like a plumbing issue. They had a plumbing issue because Brandon had gone and like there was some kind of drainage problem, and they have 2 dogs, and Brandon went to go unclog some drains, and he's seen like a lot of dog hair basically, and Julia gives the dogs a bath at spots that really shouldn't be giving them a bath at and everything, and is mad about it. And so he had to go get some plumbing equipment and stuff and everything. They went back home and called the plumber, and the plumber said they want $6,500 to come out here and change the whole plumbing line, which is ridiculous. So Brandon says, screw that, I'm going to do that myself. So he decides to dig up holes. Ron and Betty decide to come over and help him out, dig the holes to try to fix the plumbing issue or whatever. Julia's out walking the dogs and everything, and then she comes back. As soon as she gets back, like just all hell just breaks loose. Julia, like like they're preparing, like when they were talking about Julia's parents coming, and Ron and Betty was just like, "Are you excited for your parents to come? Where they're gonna stay? They're not together, so they're gonna have to stay in separate rooms." And like, yeah, we're gonna give them the guest room. Like, my room, the guest room. I'm like, yeah, like you don't live here. Like, where am I gonna stay? I'm like, and Julia's like, Betty, you live an hour and a half away. You're welcome to come. Just, but yeah, I would have to go all the way back. I'm like, Betty, like, why do you have to stay at your son's house all the time? Like, for real. Like, an hour and a half. Like, can y'all just respect the fact that this girl who gave up her whole life in Russia misses her freaking parents and they're coming to visit and stuff? Can y'all just respect that? They are not really respecting this and everything. So, like, so they're basically fighting over that and everything. And, like, Betty and Ron just like Julia was just like, Brandon, why don't you just get into this conversation? And then the whole conversation just freaking changed from the parents coming into, well, Julia hasn't gotten to get her second opinion yet. And I'm just like, why are we like, why is this, why are the conversations like going back and forth with this and everything? Like, it went from digging a hole to fixing the plumbing issue to Julia's parents, now to Julia not getting a second opinion and everything. So Betty was just like, well, Julia, if I could take you to the doctors and you get a second opinion. And Julia was like, no, because Brandon keeps pressuring me and everything. And I don't want to do nothing. Brandon keeps pressuring me. And the more pressure he does, I don't want to do it and everything. And then Ron, Brandon's dad, he was just like, you're so anti-family and everything. And so Julia just storms off and goes inside and everything. Betty throws a tantrum. She's just acting like a spoiled brat. Can't do nothing. It was just some petty nonsense. So Betty goes into the house and tries to talk to Julia. And, Julia says, no, Brandon said that because I made a promise that he could get a second opinion. Brandon said that he would do this, and that, and everything, but he keeps pressuring me. The more pressure he does, I don't want to do it. And Betty's just like, well, Julia, that's why I said that, like, I'll help you. Like, I'll take you to the doctor. The only thing you can focus on is going to the doctors, and you can focus on getting your parents here or whatever and everything. And Julie says, it's not that easy. It's not that easy and everything. Brandon pressures me and everything. I just don't want to do it. And Betty was just like, well, that's going to help and everything. And she's like, I just want everybody to leave me alone. And then this was kind of rude of Betty. She did this to Julia. And Julia's like, oh, I know you ain't doing that in my house. This is my house. You can't tell me this, leave and buy. This is my house. You leave and buy and everything. And yeah, and it was just like, yeah, like, why is... Brandon's parents, they're funny. I do like Ron and Betty, but like, this is just really weird. This is just really weird and ridiculous. Like, none of them. Brandon says that Julia's parents caused Julia to have like a lot of stress and everything. And this is why Brandon was hesitant to really want them to come and everything. But none of them realized that, are understanding the fact that Julia gave up her life in Russia 5 years ago to come here and everything. And she misses her freaking mom and dad. Her mom and dad finally get the opportunity to come visit America, to come visit them. And they don't like that. Julia had gone through hell the moment she got here. When Julia got here, remember, they were living on that farm with Brandon's parents. Brandon's mom put them to work and originally wouldn't allow them to sleep in the same room until they were married. Okay, get it for religious purposes, but had so many rules, dealt with all them disgusting animals and stuff and everything. And like, Julia went through hell and back and everything. So like, now they finally moved out, and Julia is finally get a chance to bring her parents after all the COVID stuff, after going to couples therapy and everything. And now it's just like an issue. Like, so I don't know why like Brandon and his family are just like really entitled and spoiled to think that they're above everything and stuff, and Julia's opinions and stuff don't matter and everything. So I'm sorry, I'm on Julia's side. Do I think she should go get a second opinion? Yes, but everything else, I'm on Julia's side because it is not fair how they treat her. It really isn't. So yeah, that was Brandon and Julia. Next couple I want to talk is Elizabeth and Andre. So Elizabeth, their storyline is they are trying to want to possibly move to Moldova. In this episode, they packing all their stuff. Andre's excited about going back home. Elizabeth is just hesitant. This is not the first time they went to Moldova. Normally when they go to Moldova, they go to visit and remember their wedding a few years ago and stuff and everything. But, this is the first time, like, I've seen Elizabeth felt extremely uncomfortable, basically, with this trip to Moldova. She said this is the first kid with her second child, Winston, and everything, and she just felt like it's going to be a disaster. So they had like 8 bags they had to pack and everything. Andre is just like, nothing else really doesn't hear nothing. Nothing else matters. They get on the plane. They make it to Moldova, but Elizabeth said the plane ride was terrible, that their son, this was his first flight, he didn't do well, he was screaming, and the airport lost all of their luggage. Go figure. They lost all their luggage, and so they didn't have much. So they land in Moldova, and Andre's family picks them up and everything because they're staying with Andre's mom and stuff and everything. They live in this small 2-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom, and there's gonna be 6 people there. Basically, Elizabeth is just not comfortable with that. She's like, 1 bathroom, 6 people, uncomfortable. She didn't really want to stay with the parents. She admitted that Andre is even a mama's boy too, and everything. And it's fine to be a mama's boy. It's fine to love your mother and have your mom do things for you. Like, it's fine. I have no issues with that. But Elizabeth, coming from the spoiled American background, she's gonna feel this way. So they go to sleep, and they didn't get good sleep because there was some construction and some drilling in the apartment building that they stayed at. But Elizabeth or Andre's family really welcomed them. Like, the mom made them a nice dinner when they got there and had them a nice breakfast and stuff and everything. Elizabeth was like, I don't want breakfast, I want to sleep and everything. But it is what it is. And then freaking Andre plans this surprise and stuff and everything. And they basically go to this place. It looked like the same place they had their wedding reception at, but I think it was someplace different. And it was like a party that he wanted to have for Elizabeth with all the family and their close friends in Moldova and stuff. And Andre and his family are speaking Romanian, and Elizabeth said that she knows very little Romanian. She's starting to know a little bit, but not enough to fully understand. Andre gets up and makes a speech in Romanian saying that we're moving to Moldova, right, Elizabeth? And she just does not know. She just really doesn't know and everything. And so after that speech, she's just still shocked. Oh, I forgot to say, when she got there, all the family and friends were giving her flowers and everything, saying, welcome to Moldova, we love you, nice to meet the new baby and stuff and everything. And so, and I thought that was sweet. I thought this is a tricky situation for me because, I understand Andre is homesick and this is his home, this is his soil, this is what he does, and this is what he wants for his family. And he actually he did surprise me a little bit in this episode with all he's going out, but he's still not really going about it the right way. He's really trying really hard to convince Elizabeth to move to Moldova, but he's just really confident and thinking that she's definitely going to say yes and everything, and it's just not that easy. So Elizabeth says she likes surprises, but every time we come here, he has some kind of scheme and stuff that she really wants to be aware about and stuff and everything. So he was just but he brought out the fireworks and everything, and it was nice. Like, it was really nice that he did that. But he's just like, he's really still not considering, like, he's thinking of more of this for himself, really, and he's really still not considering her feelings or her kids' feelings or stuff and everything. So I don't know what to really make of this, but we'll see how this plays out and everything. Elizabeth also said that Chuck, her father, will be coming to Moldova to help look at some places and bring out his little real estate expertise in Moldova and stuff and everything. So, well, I am glad that this trip in Moldova will go better than when they had their wedding. Because remember when they had their wedding, when Charlie made that speech at their wedding that screwed the whole thing up and everything. Like I said, I don't like Andre, but I also don't like Libby's siblings. I'm not a fan of neither side on that one. I love Elizabeth. That's all who I love. And I feel so bad for her. This is the first time, like, since, like, she's been on for 8 years. And this is the first time I've seen her, like, really, really, really uncomfortable in this. So we'll see how this plays out. So yeah, that was Elizabeth and Andre. Next couple I want to talk is, oh my God, Tiger Lily and Adnan. Have I told y'all before that I can't stand Adnan? I cannot stand that dude. I really cannot stand him. He is so immature. He's so cocky. He's so arrogant. He's so disrespectful. He thinks that his stuff doesn't stink. Like, I can't stand him. So Tiger Lily and Adnan are going to go to their ultrasound. This is going to be Adnan's first time to an ultrasound and everything. And remember, when he first arrived to America, he quickly got into the car and drove and everything. He must have an international driver's license, because I was just like, why is he driving, like, coming in here and already driving? Like, something ain't right here. But he must have an international driver's license, and because he didn't want his pregnant wife to drive. Okay, cool. And Adnan doesn't really know how to drive well. He's like swarming all over the place. Like, cars are honking at him. Like, he's gonna put Tiger Lily and the babies at serious danger. So they're on their way to the ultrasound, and he's driving like crazy, and Tiger Lily is just telling him, like, you're a horrible driver. You need to do better at your driving and everything. And he's just not listening. Like, he's just like, why are you talking to me like that? You're angry with me. And like, Tiger Lily's just saying, like, you're putting all of us at danger and everything. And it's like, you're a horrible driver. You need to drive better, basically, and everything. And he's just not listening. He just doesn't really care. They get to the doctor's office, and Tiger Lily's crying and everything. He's like, you don't listen to me, like, and everything. Like, it's like, you were driving bad and everything, and you're not taking accountability for it and everything. And Adnan was just like, well, I'm sorry. I'll try to do better. And Tiger, I don't even want to go to this appointment. This is supposed to be a happy day for us and everything. And you didn't make it better and all that. So, like, he kind of did like a half-ass apology with it and everything. And then go into the ultrasound. Now, they go inside to the doctor's office. They had a female doctor in there or whatever, or a nurse or whatever. And this is where his culture and his rules, like, come into play. In his culture, man and woman can't be alone together or whatever. Or, like, in this particular case, he didn't want the filming crew to, like, show her bare belly while the doctors were doing the ultrasound. And they had to take all the male crew members out of the room, including all the male staff members out of the room. So, and then they had to put up like some kind of like closet thing, like to aim the camera and stuff, so the camera wouldn't look at her bare belly while they were doing the ultrasound and everything. And I mean, it's nice that the hospital or the doctor's office accommodated that, but like I said before, it's just like I don't understand that. Like, I mean, maybe it's yes, I understand it's the culture thing, but I just even that I just don't really get it. Like, what is the big freaking deal? Like, I really don't understand it. So they do the ultrasound. Adnan's happy. Tiger Lily's happy. The doctor said, "Healthy baby, looks like you." Blah blah blah. Cool, great. So after the ultrasound visit, they go to this like little like cafe or whatever, and Tiger Lily is once again mad, and Adnan looked at her, was like, "What's going on now? Like, what did I do now? You're upset." And Tiger was like, "You know what you did?" He was like, "No, I don't." And she was like, "You're keeping a secret from me." And he was like, "What did I do?" And she was like, "You know." Apparently, Adnan still smokes cigarettes. And I guess he made a deal to Tiger Lily that while she's pregnant, that he will try to quit smoking in general. Well, after their doctor's appointment, Tiger Lily went to the bathroom, and she came out of the bathroom and she caught him smoking. And I guess their deal was if he was to smoke, he was supposed to tell her about it. Well, he didn't tell her about it. So now she's mad. And she's mad because, like, you know, he lied, like he was supposed to be quitting, and now he's just being sneaky. So she was like, "You think it's okay to keep secrets and stuff? I'm going to start keeping secrets." And once again, like, he's just, like, brushing it off like it's nothing. He's like, "I just told you, baby." And like, "No, you only told me because I forced it out of you and everything." And I just don't, I cannot stand this kid. Like, like, I'm sorry, I just don't. He has no respect. I mean, she claims on social media that he's a great father and everything, and that he's good with the kids. Okay, he may be, but he's just not mature enough for all of this. And I'm just really surprised that Tiger Lily, at her age, she's in her 40s, dating and marrying a 22-year-old, a 22-year-old boy, really. It just, you know, a lot of girls, like, who are that age will, like, it's really hard to find somebody who will date somebody that's that young. I noticed, and I even had this conversation with my girlfriend, that a lot of American girls, like, they will never date. They have an issue with dating young guys, especially young American guys. But we've seen on 90 Day Fiancé a lot with a lot of age gap relationships. That what is okay? They won't date a young American guy, but they will go head over heels for a young foreign guy. That's like, I don't understand the double standard by what some people do that. And what if it's men and women, younger man to older woman, or older man to young woman? I don't get the double standard of that, but I see it so much on 90 Day when it's the young man and the older woman, and it's usually the older American woman. Like, they would never date and go after a young American boy because they were like, "Oh, you're so young, you're a baby," because they'll all say, "Oh, you're a baby, you're like my son," and everything. But they'll date a younger foreign guy. This is what I really don't understand that. So I'm just really surprised Tiger Lily is even just went after him in the first place. Okay, who cares if he's good looking? He ain't a good looking. He's not a good person, I don't think. Because I came to this thought too. Maybe I'm just in my head with this. I thought when we saw Tiger Lily and Adnan on Before the 90 Days, and you know the whole scenario about like the men and the women can't be in alone, and he has to make all accommodations. She has to get rid of all male doctors and everything, all that. What if there was a situation that like that required just Tiger Lily and another guy to save somebody's life, and like they were in a time crunch and everything, and it was only down to them two, Tiger Lily and some other guy. not thinking anything romantic with the two of them, not thinking anything sexually between the two of them, but focusing on saving somebody's life in like in a real timely manner. Like, is Adnan going to be like, you still need to get a guy in there and everything, and they got to focus on I mean, try to get a female doctor in there and everything, and somebody could lose their life and stuff. Like I wish somebody would challenge like Adnan on that, them on that question, basically, because like would Adnan really like would see somebody pass away because like he's so jealous or his culture doesn't require like somebody another man to be alone with her, even if it's saving somebody else's life and stuff and everything. Like maybe it's just me being in my head and me being over dramatic about it, but he Atten just gives me that vibe basically. So I I don't really understand that. But I realized something too when I was watching that scene, their scenes and stuff, is that when I compared it to Nicole and Mahmoud, because Nicole and Mahmoud, I mean, they had similar problems, but Mahmoud had issues with Nicole's dressing and everything. Everything was mostly about what she wore. I never seen Mahmoud really get mad when she would talk to another guy though. Like she would never, like, even when he was in America and she brought those friends over and everything, like he didn't get mad over her being with another guy and stuff and everything. So it really varies on what's like on the person, on what they truly focus on. Because you got Mahu more worried about what she was wearing. You got Adnan, he can't even he couldn't even shake the nurse's hand and everything and stuff and everything. So like it really depends on the person and what more they go after when it comes in that religion, that I notice. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm done with Tiger Lily now. I just can't stand them. So yeah, that was the next couple I want to talk is Gina and Jasmine. So Gina, as we know, we remember what happened last week. Gino met with Jasmine at the park and everything to give her back her stuff and says he wants a divorce. This episode, we see Jasmine still laying on the park ground crying and everything. And pretty boy Matt comes and picks her up and everything. And Matt was actually happy that scenario went that way because he loves Jasmine and everything, and he thinks Gina is scum of the earth, basically. So Gino, he said it was a tough doing that, and that was a tough conversation, but he's ready to move on. We see Gino at the thrift store trying on new hats, getting some new clothes, and he talks to Natalie, the girl that he went to Vegas with. And they're on video chat. Natalie asked him, first to model his new hats and outfits. He does and all that. And she asks him, so did you talk to Jasmine? And Gino says, yeah, it didn't go well. I told her I want a divorce because of what happened. I did tell her, and she asked, did you tell her that we hung out in Vegas? And he said, yeah, she wasn't really, thrilled to hear that, and for obvious reasons and stuff and everything. But I do want to go through with it. Gino said that he doesn't want to divorce Jasmine because he wants to wait till the market goes down or whatever, so he don't have to share the money and all that. Okay, but with that, Gino's just lazy when it comes to paperwork. Because even when him and Jasmine were still together about the paperwork to bring her kids over here, he didn't do that. So Gino's just lazy when it comes to paperwork. I'm surprised he even did the paperwork for the K1 visa to bring her over here. So I think he was full of it on that. But he did invite Natalie to come out to Michigan. And Natalie was like, I would love to, but what in the world is in Michigan? He was like, well, we're the only state that has 5 Great Lakes. She's like, oh, okay. Stuff. So I guess Natalie's going to be coming out to Michigan. But judging by the previews, I guess Gino's going to be talking to his cousins. And they're going to say, oh, Jasmine still loves you and everything. And she wants to cancel the open marriage and stuff and everything. And now he's regretting his decision on what he did last week and wants to have another conversation with Jasmine. I'm like, Gino, come on, Gino. she's manipulating you. She's manipulating you, man. Because like it, even okay, we all know what's going on now. Because even if Jasmine and Gina got back together, it would just be the same thing. Like she would just be like nitpicking at every little thing, and then him not wanting to sleep with her and everything, and they would just have the same problems and stuff and everything, and it's draining at this point. I think Gina is finally drained of it, so we'll see how that plays out. So yeah, that was Gina and Jasmine. And the last couple I want to talk is the sad couple of the season, Kara and Guillermo. I'll say it every week. This is sad. I feel so bad. I feel mostly bad for Guillermo. Um, so yeah, they had that big discussion on their career last week that didn't go well. Every conversation that they're having, they're fighting. This episode, we seen Kara meet with her dancers because we know Kara is doing sings La Bancha, Bachata, whatever, and everything. And she meet with her dancers. I guess she has a show coming up that she really wants Guillermo to show up for. And then she gets to fly out to Milan to meet with other producers and do a video or something and perform on stage and all that. That's all well and good. That's cool. That's amazing. But her relationship is just down the drain. And I don't think she's trying. But I don't think neither one of them are trying. We seen Guillermo at his restaurant where he works. He actually works at a Mexican restaurant, and he talks to one of his coworkers who's also an immigrant. He tells them about like the struggles that him and Kara are going through, about sleeping in separate rooms. The friend said that it's a shock, but you need to really support your wife, like support her with this music thing and everything. So he thought about it, and we'll see how that plays out. So then we later see like Kara alone at her house, and she's looking at pictures when she was pregnant. She's looking at pictures when their baby was just born, and like their wedding pictures and stuff when things were happy. And then we see Kara crying. Apparently Guillermo had moved out, and I guess she actually kicked him out on some BS. They got into an argument because Kara was was playing on her phone. She was on her phone and laughing and talking to people and stuff and laughing. And he asked her like, "Who are you talking to?" And Kara flat out said it was none of your business. And so Guillermo thought it was another guy, and then thought that she's possibly cheating on him and everything. And once that, she's like, that's not true. That's just your assumption, basically, and everything. That's a false deception. And like got into an argument about it and kicked him out. Okay, I'm just like, well, why did Kara say it's none of your business to your husband, who she's talking to? Like, I mean, like, like, this is your husband. This is not a boyfriend. This is not like a friend, just a random friend. This is your husband. Your husband has a right to know, like, who you're talking to, who you're laughing at on the phone, basically. So if you're going to say none of your business and you're laughing like that, I probably would suspect, like, you're probably talking to another guy in a different kind of way, basically. So I don't think there's no coming back with Kara and Guillermo. Like they're still not following each other on social media. They're still not like, there's no pictures together and everything. Kara's gonna do her thing. Guillermo's gonna do her thing. I feel so bad. They were a cute couple, and I feel so bad for the son. I really do. And that's all I'll say about that. So yeah, that was the end of the review. We did not see Darcy and Georgie in this episode. We did not see Lauren and Alexi. And we didn't even see Jovi and Yara. We didn't see 3 couples in this episode. So I think we'll see Jovi and Yara next week. We'll see Darcy and Georgie in Bulgaria next week. So yeah. Now, before I sign off, I do want to address something. The other day, I was invited to another channel to discuss 90 Day Hunt for Love. Some know where I was. I'm not going to say who is someone who I really love and who I really admire, who I think is an honor. I don't usually read you guys know on in my comment section here on the Nathan Temp 2 page, I always say please keep their comments respectful and about the episode only and everything. Now, when I was on this other person's channel, I was seeing comments about, like, apparently people didn't like me over there. They said I wasn't articulate. They said I used the word like too much and that I shouldn't be, that this person shouldn't have me on their channel anymore. Now, I'm going to address that. And I talked to the person who I was on the channel. They said, don't worry about it. You know, they didn't realize that. And I was brave enough to come on the channel anyway. I'm not really worried about it, but what I do want to say in terms of that is, okay, you got to think about the person. What if the person has a condition, or that's just that person's personality? My main thing about it, you're allowed to disagree, but don't come on content creators' pages and tell them what to do. And don't be attacking guests. When we get to the point where I'm going to have guests on this channel pretty soon. And we're not going to be attacking any guests, whether if it's a cast member from a show that we're doing or another content creator. We're not going to attack them. Now, we're all smart enough to make sure that whoever we bring on will come in with maturity and YouTube guidelines and everything. But I just want to say to people, don't come on content creators' pages and start telling them what to do. Because ultimately, it's their choice, it's their page and everything. And it's who they want to decide what they want to do on their channel, who they want to bring up, what they want to talk about. You don't have to agree. And same here on the Nathan Tip 2 page. You guys are allowed to comment. You guys are allowed to disagree with me. But you have to be respectful. You can't, personal attacks are not going to be tolerated. Just saying. You know, okay, yes, I say the word like, big deal, tomato, tomato. A lot of people use the word like. So now I appreciate it was just that, and it didn't get worse than that and everything. But still, don't come on other content creators' pages and tell them what to do. We know what we're doing. And if you guys think you could do better, let's see y'all do it. And if you don't like it, there's other pages you can go to watch other people. You know, it's that simple. You know, we live in, social media and the comments. You know, comments are brutal. You know, a lot of people who are on the shows or on TV, they get ridiculed by their comments all the time. It's tough. It is tough going through that. I understand that. But we need to really stop with the social media bashing. Now, when we do our recaps and stuff, we do call it as I see it. It's fine to call it as I see it, but we call it as we see it on TV. I'm not going to go in the people's comments section and be bashing and attacking them. You know, I'll call the BS on what happened on the episode and leave it at that, and then we move on. But I just wanted to address that. But yeah, I appreciate that doesn't happen over here on the Nathan Temp 2 page. But if I get invited to other content creators' pages, I take every criticism to heart. I'll work on trying not to say the word like too much to irritate people and everything. But my only defense with that is just don't tell people what to do on their page. That's all I'm saying with that. But yeah, that's enough of my spiel. But again, I thank you guys so much for watching. We still need 4 more subscribers, guys, to get to that 100. Guys, so we're getting there. We are getting there. But I thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back on tomorrow to recap Hunt for Love. So I love you guys. Bye, y'all.